Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. We're looking forward to a great webinar.
Yeah. So today we're going to have our continuing education webinar with Vanessa Venturini. She's from University of Rhode Island Extension, and she is the state coordinator there and a member of the National Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. And so I'll hand it over to her in just a few minutes. We have a couple of announcements first. And I will say, just because we're kind of just now getting back into everything, if you think of something missing or something you think you would like to see added to our every other month agenda or something like that, just send Ashley or I an email and we'll be happy to add it. So this is kind of the plan moving forward. As we do these webinars, we'll have a short time for announcements, presentation, and then wrap up. And these are our announcements for this month. Sorry, I'm sitting outside and now there's a plane going overhead. But I'm happy to sit outside in our 75 to 80 degree weather, I guess. So our announcements this month are the International Master Gardener Conference taking place this June in Kansas. You can go ahead and sign up. The price is going up March 1st. So important to get signed up for that. And then we do have our 50th anniversary for Extension Master Gardeners. That week is March 20th to 26th. There's a toolkit there linked for you. If you want to utilize any of the social media posts and things that they have created for you to use. And then also, if you have any announcements going forward, of any kind, if you want to speak about something, instead of having me just kind of talk over your announcement, you're welcome to do that too. And just send Ashley or I an email and we'll get those announcements listed every time. So I think most people have introduce themselves in the chat. I think Ashley was going to pop up a poll as well so we can grab some information for our presenters today.
Yeah, and just a quick note, Anne, there are 6 quick questions here. So if you would just answer them and make sure you hit submit at the end, we would appreciate it.
All right, just a couple more seconds here. Come on, we can get to 100%. We're extension people. We can answer polls.
That's right. We like the enthusiasm, Anne. We're there, almost 85%. Come on, guys.
I think I've convinced my master gardeners. I know the 3 of them that have not submitted the survey at the end of the year. So maybe I can do that with this too. All right. Got almost everybody. Okay, so, whoops, sorry, clicking forward. We actually don't have a PowerPoint presentation this month. I think the cool thing about our webinars coming back is we have so many cool formats that we're going to utilize. So what I'm going to do now is hand over the screen to Vanessa, and she's going to go ahead and get us started.
Oh, I can hear now. It was weird. I was like having some Zoom issues. So I'm going to try something a little different this time around. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see so many of you. Many of you I met in Savannah. So it'll be a little bit of a repeat from that, but this is really going to be a time for us to all share. I've been learning about these learning circles, which is this way of peer-to-peer education. We're doing this with one of the librarian master gardeners. We're going to do a book club around braiding sweetgrass. I'll let you know how it goes. My name is Vanessa Venturini. I'm from the University of Rhode Island. I've been in this job for over a decade, and I am so energized and excited to be here with you all. I was just wondering if we could all start with a little grounding moment. So if we could all, we're super busy. I know some people are juggling 2 meetings at a time. So if everyone can just take one big deep breath in and out. And now we can all be here together in this space, thinking about a really, I think, joyful thing, which is diversifying our Master Gardener programs. Am I very quiet? Should I be a little bit louder? I don't know what's going on with the audio over here.
You sound okay on my end.
Okay.
Turn up your speakers.
So if Anne or Ashley could please throw a link in the chat. We're trying something out here with a shared Google Doc. So we're putting a lot of trust in everyone here. that we're all peers, we're colleagues coming together across the country. That's the joy of technology. If you could all click on that link so that you can have it open, we're going to all be adding to this document later. I'm going to start by sharing. If you don't mind, don't type in it yet, but I'm going to share my screen. And so today is really this opportunity for us to share across the country what's working to diversify our programs. This is our shared notes doc here, and you'll all have access to it later. And this structure is that, this is a sharing session and we're here to help each other. We think this is the start of the conversation and we plan to continue it. I don't claim to be an expert. I've been working on diversity, equity, and inclusion and diversifying our programs for the last 3 years. It's not very long. And I'm happy to be on the national team that works on this. We'll talk about those folks later. But really, I also want to acknowledge that this is going to look completely different in every single state. So our virtual discussion guidelines is a little different than the most recent version, but are that please mute your microphone when you're not speaking to avoid sound issues. You can use the Zoom chat as a back channel to speak to each other, and feel free to raise your hand. We are going to have time for breakout rooms. And there will be highlighted sections for you to put some information in if you're the recorder for your group. And I also had in an earlier version, I don't know what just happened, but this idea of taking space and making space. So when you're in your small groups, leaving room for others to speak and knowing when it's a good time for you to share, as well as, I forgot the other learning agreements. I'm going to move on to the objectives for today are to generate some ideas for increasing diversity in our Master Gardener programs across the country, share what's working, learning about our National Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion team and how you can join us and consider getting involved. We'll be sending out some follow-up in case folks want to join our national efforts. There's only about 3 or 4 of us, and we think since there's such a great turnout here, we can really do a lot more with a larger group. So moving on, I just wanted to share what's working in Rhode Island to get your brains cranking. And let me just add this picture back in. I'm totally going to edit this in live view because it's so worth it. Okay. And then I'm going to move it over. Okay, so the first thing I want to share and what's worked in Rhode Island is to build a team. If you want to diversify your Master Gardener program, this is more of a relay race or not something that you want to try and attempt on your own. And also the thing that's really working well, I guess, let me share that we have a Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Task Force. You don't have to go that far, but really engaging your volunteers in this work. Even if you think you don't have a lot of diversity, you have people that are interested in diversifying your program, and that's who you want to engage. You can engage your colleagues, but if we're trying to work with the Master Gardeners and diversify that group, shouldn't they be involved in the effort to diversify their own group? So I wanted to first say that. Secondly, I wanted to share this idea of building partnerships. So I feel like if you want to start somewhere, it's all about building partnerships. So if you acknowledge that there's a group out there that wants to do gardening and they are a trusted kind of gatekeeper in their community, and they're reaching a group that your organization doesn't reach yet, you can partner with that organization. And I think this is really leveraging this idea that extension can be a connector and a relationship builder and a convener. We don't have to know all the answers. The organization out there, they're the trusted one to their community groups. We don't necessarily have to be experts in working with their constituents. Hopefully you're working with organizations that are community-based, not community-placed. So meaning that their leadership is reflective of the community they're serving, and really, like I said, serves an audience you don't reach yet. Our partners take the lead. And so that's this idea of community-led extension, where we don't need to be the ones with all the answers coming in and bequeathing this breadth of knowledge and all the right answers onto the community. The idea, or people shouldn't rely on the Master Gardeners completely because that's not a sustainable model. So how can we make sure that our partner organizations are in this leadership role And they're moving their own goals, and they know what their audience needs. So they're moving all of that forward. And what is our role then as extension staff and professionals and volunteers? It's to support and advise the good work that's already going on in the community, and to support and connect people to the resources and the best practices that we have, and have that two-way communication and information. And I just wanted to make sure I included this image because I think it's super beautiful. It's from January. And this is a photo that's at least 3 years in the making. Dina Lynn Spears over here is a Master Gardener, class of 2015. And she always says, I took the class in 2015 and I never imagined that we'd be here. She is the director of natural resources for the Narragansett Indian tribe. And so that's the federally recognized tribe here in Rhode Island. And what we've been able to do, they actually acquired somebody, like a farming family, had this big plot of land in western Rhode Island, and they wanted to give it back to the tribe. And so they've got this huge farm, and they really want to do some like food sovereignty work and grow food for the tribal elders and work on, nutrition, and then eventually move to making the farm into a little bit of a revenue generating opportunity for the tribe. And while they have a lot of knowledge of indigenous, food growing techniques, what they don't know is how do we grow in high tunnels, and how do we, grow at this scale. So it's been this really cool, very long process. We've been super patient with it. But the folks that I want to point out in the back are Dina Lynn's second in command here, Steve Smith, Lee Fry, and then an additional, I cannot remember his name. Starts with a K, but additional tribal member here. They're all part of the natural resources / agricultural department. And two of them, Lee and Steve, actually went through the Master Gardener course as well. So they've gone through the training. And then in the middle is Maria Rivera Salient. She has been an incredible, an incredible part of our Jedi team. She's actually the chair of Jedi Justice, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion for our Master Gardener program. So she's been super instrumental in encouraging her peers along this path. We've got Rudy Hempy. If there is a God, do you all have like a godfather of your program? This guy's got like 30,000 hours. He's super well respected. And here he is. He's going to be encouraging his group of guys that we refer to as the Rudy's Rangers to come out to the farm and support the work of the tribal members. And then we've got Nan and Dave here, who are also longtime Master Gardeners, super knowledgeable in native plants and vegetable gardening. And, we've got a larger group that we kind of all brought together in a big circle. And it's really the start of this partnership. We've been talking about it for 3 years. We've been going after grants. And the thing that really got this going this year was kind of COVID lightening up. And then Rudy, who's kind of this trust, it's the relationships is what I want to say. Rudy is the one who kind of moved this all forward. So more to come on this, but it's been kind of like a joy and incredible responsibility and honor of my career to be part of this. And I can't wait to see. And I think we want to invest some money so that we can kind of like videotape this relationship as it forms and see where it goes. More to come. And so this really comes to this idea of peer educators. Does anybody use that term, or does anybody know how to define what a peer educator is? Can you raise your hand if you know? What do you think a peer educator might be? Is anybody brave enough? Anyone other than my friend Ashley? They use it in FNAP, SNAP-Ed, our nutrition colleagues in Extension a lot. Any guesses on what a peer educator might be?
There's an answer in the chat, Vanessa.
Shannon says learning from friends. Exactly. So Ashley, what do you want to unmute and share what you think it is?
Yeah, I think in our program, we talk about it like the fact that our our Master Gardener volunteers and community members are, peers in some ways, but often somebody who's from and relates to your life experience and can kind of talk, with you across that experience.
Thank you for sharing. I have this weird thing going on with my sound, so I don't know what you said, but I know it was brilliant. My definition of peer educator, which may be the same as what Ashley just said, is when you want to partner with an organization and you invite a member of that organization, whether it's a staff member, a trusted community member, an educator, to take your course and become a Master Gardener and then return to their community, to their project, and serve as an educator because they're a trusted member of that organization. So rather than us coming in and bringing in somebody external to a community so that we can reach them, we're really embedding that trusted person within and building those important teaching. I like the shared authority as it speaks to everyone having a voice. We use the term ambassador in one of our programs. Yes, exactly. It's all these same terms. Some people want to use different terms. And I wanted to share a video of a peer educator from Rhode Island that I think really illustrates this point. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on this.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Mercado. I'm a URI Master Gardener from class of 2016 and a housing stabilization case manager from the House of Hope CDC. We have 2 garden locations here in Warwick, Rhode Island. We incorporated the gardens to help promote healthy eating and help with food disparities in the communities we serve. So we house people out of homelessness who are chronically homeless and teach them life skills on a housing first model. Incorporating the gardens helped with promoting meaningful activities, but also build confidence within our constituents and educate them on research-based gardening. Most of the time we will take the produce and we will incorporate them in healthier meals to promote healthier diets. What I've learned in my experience is that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes is prevalent in the homeless community. And as a woman with lived experience of homelessness myself, I experienced that high calories and sodium is a homeless diet. So to educate, we are set healthy recipes, and we also teach how to store the harvest after the season is done.
Pretty incredible. That's Jackie Mercado. And again, this didn't happen overnight. Like, we were super patient with her. Remember, she and Dina Lynn actually are examples of, if we were to stick to, oh, you have to get your hours in, and penalize people who weren't living up to our expectations, we would not have had these beautiful relationships, because both of them took a really long time to complete their internship. But look at the amazing relationships that we've built because of that. So I just wanted to say that. And then I'm going to go ahead and share again, and then quickly we are going to go in our breakout rooms shortly. Okay, so I just wanted to share that in addition to relationships, I think what's worked really well is communicating often. So externally through social media, website, articles, press releases. So communicating that you're trying to make interventions and little changes and concerted effort to diversify your Master Gardener base. And when you're showing images of your team, you're making sure that it's diverse folks that are showing up in your outreach materials, on your website, and your social media. Social media has been really key for us. I feel like it's just such an easy way to communicate our values, and a lot of new Master Gardeners have come to us that way. Internally, communicating the importance of these efforts. We actually have a lot of emphasis on it in our application material for the course. You want to make sure you have some sort of financial awards or scholarships, and I'm happy to chat with anybody about how we've done some of these things in more detail at another point. Vanessa at URI.edu. Communicating the importance of this in your initial training, and I invited Maria to come give a welcome, that kind of thing, from our Jedi task force. In our volunteer agreement, I don't know if you have people sign something every year, but we had them incorporated kind of the values that we hold here in our newsletter, in our Master Gardener meetings, anytime we gather. And then, of course, like who's showing up, who's in your leadership roles, and how can you do a better job of diversifying the leaders within your organization? And then, of course, don't go it alone. This work it can be exhausting, it can be energizing, it can be a roller coaster. And, we really want to build more of a community here. So I'm so excited to be part of the reinvigoration of these bi-monthly meetings. And we'd love to build more of a community around diversity, equity, and inclusion and support each other. But also you've got DEI professionals at your university, in your state, I'm sure at your county. Find your resources. And remember, find the joy in this. This is a learning experience. You're not expected to be an expert in any of this. You are going to make some mistakes, but people know when you're kind of bringing your authentic self to the work. If you get pushback, this has been a big thing that Maria says to me all the time. If you get pushback, that means it's working. So if you're afraid don't be afraid. Like, it's brave. That's what they talk about, brave spaces. Don't be afraid to get some pushback. I think I said, don't go it alone enough. Patience, like with your volunteers, with yourself, this isn't going to happen right away, but you'll be amazed how much momentum can get built pretty quickly. Not penalizing people, but letting people come to this on their own. I remember sitting on the bus and speaking to a fellow coordinator who said, we're requiring this kind of training. And I've heard from every DEI professional, do not require. It's a really good way of turning people off and making them resentful, but you want them to hear from their fellow Master Gardeners that, like, I went to this training, it's kind of life-changing. And that's why I thought, let me start with braiding sweetgrass as our way of like bringing people into this work, because it's so gentle and it's not necessarily like screaming diversity, equity, and inclusion, but it's still bringing people to that. And then being brave means being okay with imperfection and adopting a culture of experimentation. Hope you know what I mean there. I am not a perfectionist, if you can tell. Okay, so now we would love for you to discuss amongst yourself. I'll give you a topic, Rhode Island, neither a road nor an island. So what your real discussion is going to be. We're going to have you be in groups of 5. We would love for you to have one person be the recorder, please, and discuss the prompts below. Oh, it looks like people are already entering information. What we thought was we can kind of create this really cool document that looks through themes and we can pull themes from it in the future and share this back out with everyone. But what we're looking for is for you to chat through this idea of what's one strategy that's working to increase diversity among Extension Master Gardeners in your area. And so we'll give you 15, 20 minutes. And if Ashley doesn't mind opening up those rooms, and you can click join. Make sure that you are in this Google Doc before you go into the rooms. We'll throw it in the chat. Oh yeah, Ashley just put it in the chat one more time. And we can open up those rooms and we'll call you back in. Let us know if you have any questions.
And that was so productive. How are the rooms?
Thank you,
Really
Sarah,
good
for
pleasure.
recording for group 1.
Thank you for all of our recorders. I'm going to probably leave it here and not have people share out, just because I want to give enough time to the fabulous Ava Pabon, who I will now pass the baton to. She is our new leader for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I don't know, what's our specific name? Subcommittee? Subcommittee. And so we'd love for you to join this national effort. If this got you excited and get your senses tingling and you're like, yes, let's form a supportive group. Let's share what's working. Ava's going to tell you how.
Hi, good afternoon. And I was the one who had an excellent conversation there. So I would like to continue conversations. And one of the things is like, as a subcommittee, we're looking to the future as implement diversity, equity, and inclusion into our programs. Let me see if I can do this right after 2 years being doing this thing. So what is our mission? Is to create and compile resources and tools that can help states and county coordinators in their efforts to create Master Gardener programs that are inclusive and represent the communities in which they're served. Okay, so we are not here to tell you how to do it or to create new regulations. We're here just to give you some resources that it's been working for me, it's been working for Vanessa, for Ashley, for the different people across the nation, and how you can use it. And maybe that doesn't work, because I will tell you there's things that doesn't work, and we have to keep moving, and we have to keep being trying. So our objectives are to actually just cross-pollinate across Master Gardener programs. So if I'm having I'm having difficulties trying to reach specific group, then let me look for a Master Gardener coordinator. They had an excellent experience, that can that has been very, very successful on working with that group. So I can come to the coordinators, to the DEI subcommittee and say, hey, who's been working with the Latinos? I need some hints on how to work with the Latinos, just an example. And then continue to plan ways on our subcommittee that can influence the work of the national committee. So what is our plan? We're setting goals. We're just keep moving. Every year we have a new group. We have new goals that we're setting, and it's about building relationship. And I've been in the committee for probably 5 years, and I keep building relationships across the nation. I'm sorry, I was in another meeting and I left my microphone in the other room. Can you hear me better now?
Ava, we can hear you okay. It's just like a little feedbacky, but it might just be the room you're in. Don't worry about it. If there's not much you can do, that's just what it sounds like.
It's just I was running back and forth and I left the headphones and everything on the other room. So
no worries. We can still hear what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you. So also we want you to be able to identify colleagues that are across the nation and then or community members. So we will help you to set those goals, and even your volunteers can be great resources to help you to achieve your diversity goals. And then we would like to identify action steps to reach your goals. So in our case is we have those action steps as a committee, and then we are working as a group. But we help you to identify, who is responsible, what are the resources that you need, and, the activity timeline. And right now, we just started meeting again in January, and we have new goals for this year. So what we have, we're looking to the future. And one of the things that we're looking at is for new members. We can now this work just with 4 people. Okay, actually 5, because I just recruited someone. And then from those 5, 3 are from Florida, 1 is from New York, and 1 is from Rhode Island. So we need people from all the nation, from the different states. I wish that, you don't have to come to all the meetings. We just need your input. We need your ideas. We want to continue to work in our toolkit. One of the goals that we have for this year, and I presented this to the members in the January meeting, and we are working on continue creating and adding to the best practices document that we have, but also doing short videos. I want to do a library of videos that, what works for me as a Latina to get into the community and how I can help you for you to reach the Latinos in your community. So I will do a 3 to 5 video that you can go to this library and listen to me, or then I can do also a fact sheet about that you can go and look. So one of the things is we don't want to create something that you have to listen to for 3 hours. It's like, I have a need right now. Let me look at this library and just listen to that video. So that is our for this year. And the last meeting, we all kind of brainstorm which are our areas of expertise that we can do a video. So we welcome you to be part of our membership and work on this. And then the other thing is that we always like to be part of the conferences and, keep doing the work. Keep sharing what is working for us. And we want to listen what is working for you. Also, what are your challenges and how we can help you. Okay, and is also our subcommittee is an ongoing support to the National Committee's strategic priorities. Okay, so we need you. We are looking for new members. Our meetings are the second Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's tomorrow. You're not going to forget. So I will send the invitation if anyone wants to join us tomorrow. And then also for more information, you can email me. My name is Eva Maria Pavon. If you Google that name in Florida, I'm going to show up in your search. And my email is evepavon5@ufl.edu. So we need you. We want your input. We want to hear your challenges to see maybe we have the solutions for you, or not the solutions. We have some guidelines for you to overcome those challenges. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I am so excited to can you hear me still? Okay. So excited to read through this document, find some common threads. I'm really interested to learn more as I read through this. Like, oh, you have youth come to, you have children come. Anyway, thank you for being such active participants. And now I am happy to hand this back over to Anne for closing remarks. And thank you very much for allowing us to be part of the first session.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Ava. Anyone have any questions or discussion on this? I think it'd be great to kind of revisit this later in the year. Everybody take a look at the document. I'm assuming everyone will still have access to read everything through. I didn't get a chance to read it all through. So I think it'll be really cool. Maybe we can pull out some of the things that stick out and say, let's hear from the people that put in. Well, I think Vanessa, you were saying like the people that allow children at meetings and stuff. It would be great to have some comment on that. So a couple questions. Will you be sending out the document in an email for us to refer to? I can do that if you want to provide a final. We can just send out a PDF. Would that be best? Okay. Okay. And then tomorrow's meeting, Ava, how do they just need to email you and you'll send them the information to join that meeting tomorrow? Okay. So just send Ava an email. Did you want to say something, Ava?
I was just saying yes.
Okay. And her email again is it's up in the chat. It's epavone5@ufl.edu. All right. Okay, so we have recorded this and we'll record all of our webinars to the YouTube channel. If you didn't know that we had a YouTube channel, there are actually quite a few old recordings on there. In fact, Ashley put one in the chat earlier that might be relevant to today's discussion. So go on there and you can find this one and maybe some other ones that could be helpful to you. We'll send out that link and also the Google Doc as well after this meeting. We are posting about our webinars in the eBlast along with other information regarding the National Extension Master Gardener Coordinators. So you can subscribe to that news blast, share this link with other coordinators in your state so they can all jump on board and get the great information as well and join us in our webinars and maybe help staff some of the committees and subcommittees as well. For our next webinar, again, we're not doing every month, we are doing every other month. So our next webinar is in April on the 12th. You registered, I hope, signed up for all of them, but you can go in and sign up for them individually as well. And so we'll have an update on the National Institute of Consumer Horticulture and some of the things that they're doing. So that'll be in April. And then we have some other webinars coming up throughout the year. Again, every other month, second Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We'll send out a reminder to register. We'll send out the topic. They're also on the EMG website if you forget or you want to know. I think there's only 1 month that we don't have a speaker yet. I think that is August maybe. So if you have an idea or you have something you want to present, let us know. And then in December, we're going to do something different and kind of had some open conversation on some topics. So if you have some stories to share on those topics, send those to us or just let us know you want to share in December. And again, that's a long way off, so we'll send reminders out for that as well. Okay, let me make sure I grabbed everything from the chat. Yep, Ashley put the registration in there for the April meeting as well. So great. Well, thank you for surviving with us today. We had, of course, tested everything a few days ago and before the meeting today, and then everything decided to not work as it seems to be in Zoom now. So maybe everybody's used to it at this point. So well, we appreciate it. Thank you again, Vanessa and Ava. Thanks, Ashley, for helping out. We'll get better and I guess more smooth as time goes on, hopefully. So again, we appreciate everybody taking the time. We're right at 2:00 now, so didn't take up too much of your day, and we appreciate it. And we'll see you in April.